Kuzuzampo, welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Sunampem. Our top stories this week. The Center for Disease Control to send samples abroad to understand the strain of the coronavirus, which is more contagious this time. The Education Ministry to introduce dual learning system from next academic session. And strict lockdown most effective against spread of COVID. Is the new variant of the coronavirus in Bhutan? Today, this is a question everyone is asking. The Health Ministry suspects that the recent community transmission in the country could be because of the new variant. It spread fast. The new variant is 70% more contagious than the previous strain of the coronavirus. The new variant of coronavirus is more contagious but not a new virus.
New variants doesn't make it a different virus. It just means that the virus probably might have undergone some mutations, and it has changed its behavior in terms of transmissibility and the nature of the disease it causes.
The Health Ministry finds that the virus this time is highly contagious.
The virus that is circulating at the moment has come to be very infectious. I think almost all the whole family members, even with brief contact, brief exposure history, has turned out to be positive. They see if there are 5 members, 3 may become positive today, and in 2-3 days, next 2-3 days, the 2 others come positive. So this is a highly transmissible virus.
And only a test will confirm that.
We really cannot say that it is the new variant or the mutated virus because we haven't done the laboratory analysis. The laboratory analysis would be involving gene sequencing of the virus that is in circulation, that is causing the COVID-19 in Bhutan at the moment. But since we have no capacity to perform gene sequence in Bhutan, we would have to send the samples to the RCDC has to send the samples to its counterpart laboratories, which is in Bangkok at the moment.
Soon the samples will be tested in Bangkok. Meanwhile, the people are asked to strictly follow health safety precautions to break the chain of transmission. More than 20 countries across the world have confirmed the new, more contagious variant of COVID-19, first identified in the UK. However, according to international experts, the current COVID-19 vaccines will likely protect against the new variant. Sunampem for BBS News. The RT-PCR test is mandatory for all individuals leaving Paro. The National COVID-19 Task Force recommended this, with the district detecting more coronavirus positive cases.
With the new protocol, the drivers of vehicles transporting essential items for the district will also have to take the RT-PCR test along with the people traveling outside in emergency cases. They will have to test negative. However, people leaving the district as emergency patients or those requiring medical services such as dialysis and chemotherapy and their drivers will be allowed to exit after testing negative on the rapid antigen test.
당아지 피가 좋아진 다 영하 야시벌라 단보도 가지기 엔티젠 테스트기 이마 가짜친지 당이라 다 이게 영하지 바님에 당아지기 RT-PCR 자 대대보다 이내디 님니 숨디지 고님에서 주니라 디 가서진 딱지디 베서기 팀포 배울래 된디베 됐다 뒤체 고울래 된디베 대한이기 아지지 홀로 됐다 제바제나 아세 주니라.
Meanwhile, Kichu and the Gyeog office area in Lango were declared as red zones with 2 new positive cases detected from the areas in the last 24 hours. They are primary contacts of the cases detected in the district earlier.
대한이 포지티브 텐디베 조미기 사고딘나들이 아주 침기 피칼레라 테마 주바베 대디수다 대가 제가 틈송 쭉디 수준이라 대달로지 다마즈미두스야 대디베 미누세 피카 마담바디베 마자세 슈니라 다가라 침나나라 슈나세 디기가 제루 니지카탈루 펜토 세슈니라.
Since the first case on 22nd December, Paro reported 31 COVID cases. For Namgye Wangchuk in Paro, this is Tandon Finso for BBS News.
The Health Ministry made the use of face masks mandatory in public places and transport services from July this year. Since then, it has become a part of everyday life of the people, with most of them adhering to the health protocol. According to the ministry, apart from wearing a mask, using the right one and managing it properly are equally important.
Different types of face masks are now available for public use in the market. Many research have even graded its effectiveness in containing the spread of the coronavirus. At the press briefing yesterday evening, the health minister explained the certain things to consider while choosing a mask.
아니 카레디 뿌디기베 라 아치 로랍 얀 아치 파다 추 줍다 분카 사베베 와친 데 아니 리즘 베비기 따이라 데 데마마 디 카레디 푸 가체 베츠 로랍 주 숲 가체 베츠 와친 데 아니 카레디기 피체디 남스미 리즘 베비기 따이 세 슈돌라.
According to the World Health Organization, surgical masks have high level of effectiveness. The WHO also stated that when choosing a fabric mask, one must check for filtration, breathability, and fit. It should be 3-layered with the inner layer made of absorbent materials such as cotton, and the other 2 layers should be of non-absorbent material. At the same time, the health minister explained that used face mask must be managed properly. Minister Dishanwangma said one should wash hands before and after using a mask.
다 마쇼치랑 아차라 데 카레디 사치게 데레 아니 추추니디 집멜라 다 콜라기 카레베 와친 데 라렌 탑 차우치라 추추고스 슈닐라 데다 꼬니기 카레디 베와친 데 라렌 탑 차우치라 리즘 베출템베데 차니나루 코디카리차나 세슈돌라.
Besides wearing face masks, people are advised to wash hands regularly with soap and water and practice physical distancing to minimize the risk of COVID-19. Kiladem for BBS News.
The COVID-19 situation necessitated dramatic changes in the education system globally. In Bhutan, looking at the way forward while adapting to the reforms, the pandemic prompted the Education Ministry to implement the learning management system that will focus on both classroom as well as virtual teaching and learning. It will be introduced from the next academic session. The system will explore the potential of online learning for students and integrate technology into their academic learning experience. The Education Minister J.B. Rai said it will ensure uninterrupted schooling in situations such as the current pandemic.
디랍 개지진 날로 당가지기 합탕디 마오서라 더 티리기 톨레베니디기 다 가지기 다 컨택트 티칭 짬지 멤버시나레 버추얼 티칭 해 주고 배서노 아니 시스템디 아니 버추얼 티칭이 될 조조 이슈니 베라 아나루 버추얼 티칭 보돌로 파 클래스룸 날로 줌베라 다토기 컨택트 티칭 줌베라 파 알루카데 에서기 사고나레 데 지지 아니 맞아 클래스룸 줌베라 아니 베테니기 맞지 고컵디 아니기 존이베 땡마지기 아니 맞아 추추 이슈니 베라.
Minister J.B. Rai said initially the ministry will keep 30% as virtual learning and the remaining for classroom learning. Depending on the situation, the arrangement can be the other way around. Virtual learning is defined as learning that can functionally and effectively occur in the absence of traditional classroom environments.
Then maungkonemen tato lobda banchago diberu yajimen chigop diberu 가티베 베고디베루 아니니 데 동코잡디게 컨택트 티칭 더 버추얼 티칭 디 패러럴 베 데주니게 될로 땡아지 하니 조조이 아니 딩아지기 데마파 더 치디지게 나코나로 데지중 더 상페기 에카데믹 이에날리디 나메스면 가절로 사게 범 미시슈니베인도.
To implement the learning management system, the Education Ministry already put up a proposal to the government to provide tablets for all the students from the upcoming academic year. Today, there are more than 170,000 students across the country. Sunampem for BBS News. This lockdown, domestic violence increased compared to the last lockdown in August. From 26, the number reached 41 this time. 3 are children. This is as per records maintained with Renew, a non-profit organization working towards eliminating all forms of gender-based violence.
41 people, including 7 men, reached out to Renew and its community-based volunteers for support. Majority of them were women. 27 of them were physically abused by their spouse. 11 were emotionally abused, 1 sexually abused, and 2 experienced economic abuse. Meenakshi Rai with the Renew said the number could be higher.
That's no doubt. There's no doubt. There are underreported cases, so that's why we were really concerned. I don't know how many of them have really access to the television, the informations for that matter, the mobile phones. So that's still a big question for us.
The community-based volunteers established shelters across almost every district since the second nationwide lockdown. Besides shelter, counseling is also provided over the phone.
To talk to our clients face-to-face, counseling is not possible. And then when we have to talk to a client, we also have to talk to the partners. And of course, online, that's impossible. I've not been able to do that. And we cannot also ensure some safety of these clients who are inside the house because of the movement restrictions, and we cannot go also there. They cannot come out. That's another very big challenge that we have. That's a big challenge that we have.
The UN has described the worldwide increase in domestic abuse as a shadow pandemic alongside COVID-19. It is said to have increased by 20% during the lockdown as many people are trapped at home with their abuser. Pupkem for BBS News.
In between the second nationwide lockdown, the export of boulders, mines and minerals from Phinceling is happening smoothly. In fact, in recent days, the business has increased. And if the situation remains favorable, the exporters say it could offset a portion of the losses suffered in other sectors of the economy due to the global health emergency.
The export picked pace after a designated Boulder containment zone at the Amochu area was operational on 18th December. Besides a bigger space, the facility provides all the services related to the business through a single window system.
Before the containment zone was set up, the daily average of the materials exported was 120 to 150 truckloads. But now it increased to 180 to 200 truckloads. We are targeting to send at least 200 vehicles every day.
The containment zone was particularly established to facilitate the export of boulders, mines and minerals during the COVID-19 pandemic. At the moment, there are nearly 1,500 trucks involved in the trade here.
The Boulder export business here can recover the loss the government suffered in the tourism sector due to the pandemic. Today, for instance, we generate 150,000 to 200,000 US dollars daily from the business here.
The export resumed in September after a hiatus of almost 6 months due to the border closure. Since then, boulders, stone aggregates and minerals worth almost 900 million Newton have been exported to Bangladesh and India.
For now, the export of boulders from Phinceling is on a smooth course. The people involved in it, 184 of them tested negative for the virus on RT-PCR. Similarly, the overall situation of the town seems favorable for the business. At least for time being, over 2,000 frontline workers stationed at various parts of the town tested negative for virus in the last 10 days.
In the meantime, the Bhutan Exporters Association is also preparing for a worst-case scenario. Along with the health officials, the association is working on a contingency plan in case of an outbreak of the coronavirus in the containment zone. Sona Penjo for BBS News, Phinceling.
The Office of Consumer Protection penalized some 30 shopkeepers in Thimphu for unfair business practices in the last 10 days since the lockdown. They either increased the price of goods or sold expired items. The office collected more than 100,000 yutam as fines.
The officials visit shops in all 45 zones in Thimphu. They talk to shopkeepers and customers alike to see if there are any violators. There are more than 200 shops open in Thimphu today, and some are taking advantage of the situation.
다날레 ngachigi tukchuri sumnale te ngachigi chongpa sumchusu sumdechi te ngachigi konalu te nija kyogop tensi se shunila ta di nija kyogomide khoragi ta chusigi 좀 배우들라 다 곤세디 때 선남 링카기 세시디고 마니바 때 아시치 토다베송 때 록질레 때 코나기 총 디세갈리 지미디소 때 총줄 타발레 텐디기베 때 디나룽아 치기 때 니자 기급텐시스 주니라.
And all complaints came from Thimphu. People called the office's toll-free number 1214 and used social media platforms to register their grievances. The office recommended closing 3 shops during the lockdown and cancelling the license of 2 vegetable wholesalers. They are repeated offenders.
tanga chigi na chapter diswe tangdegi be yus shunila delenga chigi zongkhada te thomde disu chikaya dewatap te khonlu shuwa pyushindu kahara zongkhakda thomdegi thomkhala fa tatuk benigi desen disu chukdigi be te tatu pa thom disu tatuk zeda zejimba yus shunila.
And the number of complaints is highest during the lockdowns. This is Sringdandu, BBS News.
The business of dairy farmers in Samrup Jonkar is back on track. The sale of milk to their biggest market, the bordering Indian towns, resumed about a month ago. Over 1,300 litres of milk collected from the farmers are sold across the border daily.
It's 6 a.m. The filled milk cans from Orong, Komdar and Deotangyoks are already at the Indo-Bhutan border gate. On the other side, empty containers are lined up. The Bhutan Cooperative Shop in Samrup Jonkar facilitates the delivery. Following the safety protocols, the staff of the shop fill the cans without touching it, while the Indian traders wait 5 to 10 meters away. The business takes place under the strict vigilance of the enforcement agencies at the gate.
The importer of the Indian territory, they bring the money twice in a week in a proper packed seal system, and they hand over to the checkpost in presence of our cooperative people. Then it is kept in the Jursala, what's called quarantine box, safety box, for 72 hours. Then after 72 hours, our people go there, then take with the safety gloves and all, and they bring to the their office.
Within the town, the Bhutan Cooperative Shop supplies more than 500 litres of daily milk production to the residents. The shop also produces butter, cheese and yogurt. However, the residents claim the current supply is insufficient.
Milk available in the town. Only the complaint people are doing is that because they are not coming out from the house during the given time that the milk marketing group is operating their shops. Basically, milk, given its nature, we used to sell from 6 morning to 10 morning. Then Mahadachi, of course, afternoon also they keep on selling whole day. Whole day they keep the shop open. But people, given their timing and all, I think some people they are not in the position to be in the particular time to the particular shop.
Meanwhile, for the farmers, the export arrangement has come as a huge relief. Milk is one of the main sources of income for many farmers of Samrup Jonkar.
We are grateful that the export of milk is allowed even during the lockdown. It is profitable for us to sell fresh milk than butter and cheese.
When milk production is more, the domestic market cannot consume it all. It is better to export to India. Compared to butter and cheese, selling milk is more profitable. We make 200 to 300 nutrim extra from milk.
As of now, there are 7 dairy groups across Samrup Jonkar producing more than 2,000 litres of milk every day. For Kileongchu in Samrup Jonkar, Sonamongdi, BBS News.
As more COVID-19 positive cases are detected from the flu clinics, it is evident that the second nationwide lockdown could not have come at a more appropriate time. Many say that it has helped the country prevent a full-blown community transmission of the coronavirus. According to the Health Minister, if the lockdown this time is managed efficiently and followed strictly, the number of positive cases reported daily will see a sharp decline after 2 weeks.
The Health Minister Dishen Wangmo said lockdown is among the most efficient measures to break the chain of community transmission of COVID-19. The government declared a 7-day nationwide lockdown from 23rd December after a cluster transmission of the coronavirus was confirmed. In Thimphu, where the index case, a 25-year-old woman, was detected, the lockdown was imposed 3 days earlier.
Total kaktam di leshum be lalen thap chobachin nim chuji de chinale tenga chigi name sami jankana me sami ya mijola yupchi khale yada yalechi malechi ba ne re ni re töndu be name sami mambe mi tönse shudola ta nga chigi total kaktam di leshum be lalen thap ma chobachin tele ani jankadi nim chuji tile ani jankadi ya bera deung se shudola.
As per a post on the official Facebook page of the Prime Minister's office, if the lockdown was delayed, thousands of people would have left Thimphu, spreading the infection. Although sudden, the lockdown helped a great deal in the containment of the disease. The Lancet's research also highlighted that more rigid lockdown decreased mobility, which helped bring down and reverse an outbreak such as COVID-19. The Lancet is among the world's oldest and best-known general medical journals. Minister Dishen Wangmo also said that the increasing number of cases reported over the last few days is mainly due to the volume of tests carried out. From 20th till 27th December, over 25,000 people were tested in the flu clinics and through mass screening in the country. Of them, 173 tested positive.
Lalu namisami jangkan namisami nimchi jangka yaya jo bota mapa lalu semkan namisami dokpai ani duje thap dong la te bolu tari ngachara kadde tata takshedin mam benidigi te jangka de ati masu chi on senomela tane boda dale na lepha nimdun ge de chi te jangka di yaya ra jong la.
Among the general public, most people BBS spoke to were supportive of the government's preventive measure.
For me, prevention is better than cure. In this current scenario, I think lockdown has acted as a preventive measure to reduce the spread of this deadly virus.
We can see that people are following the lockdown protocol. Even in my surrounding, I can see that people they are using masks and washing their hands regularly when they go for essential shopping, and they do dress.
People in my community, they follow the lockdown protocol strictly. People are not moving out unnecessarily, and most of them stays at home.
Meanwhile, going by the Prime Minister's message on Facebook, the epidemiological pattern of the outbreak should give the government timely confidence to initiate the unlocking process. It will be designed in a way that the risk of the disease is minimized. This is Sringdandu for BBS News.
It is winter, a time for an annual ritual or loche in every household. The loche is believed to ward off misfortune and rejuvenate good karma. But now, because of the lockdown, people cannot organize loche, and officials are making sure that people are not performing the annual ritual secretly. The villages here in Wangdifoda wear a deserted look. If not for the lockdown, the sounds of drums and cymbals would echo in the villages. Officials are strictly implementing the directives of the National COVID-19 Task Force to suspend any annual ritual this time.
Wangdi zongkhalu bewachin dato nede ni the se juni de jungi kajada timlu di maneva khongi ibdige be loche tang denu se juni dodol kakdam di judu be jungi kaja manemi di timle geoim bela te ani beni degi timgi dinsalu kego be se debe dato debe thache di se juni la.
And those who have gathered are all home quarantined. The ritual season starts from November till February.
인치미치 때 ngacara lochese uchi daregi daudna tangop daregi ngacara gi dijabi chidlu te tangopdi te mi se sunila te ngacara gi lam kinchodi ngacara chapjimi ngacara gi chi tidu dida namma kinto gongo ngacara gi semkha tengo 학교 줬으면 저기 뭐시에 자주 마도 좀데 치 들로 땡고 치 너무 아니나 땅고 치 아니나 지지 아니나 땅마 소바진 데 미토봉세 데 투섬 미진이 명호서 순이라.
The loche begins with the head of the family consulting an astrologer and requesting monks for the ritual. Then on the day of the ritual, monks offer prayers to protective deities. It is seen as a reason for celebration among family members. But today, families have to wait a little long for a safe gathering. For Changa Doji in Wangdifoda, Sonampem for BBS News. That's all for this week. Thank you for joining us.